what's going on, y'all, and welcome to another Flames Reaction channel. So, today's video, we're going to see and check out one of the most greatest legendary of all WWE, John Cena. And before we start the video, can y'all please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell whenever I drop a brand new video. And yeah, without further ado, let's check out John Cena.
There's snow on the top of that mountain? All aboard! Before John Cena would become a 16-time World Heavyweight Champion in the WWE, tying him for the most all-time world title reigns. Before John Cena would transition from the madcap world of professional wrestling into becoming a full-time Hollywood star, thanks to films like Trainwreck, Blockers, Bumblebee, and the upcoming Fast and Furious 9.
What's the biggest?
I heard there's something called SummerSlam.
Oh, that was a good way to do that.
Before John Cena would have 13 million followers on Twitter and over 15 million followers on Instagram at the time of this recording. John Cena's heart might belong to the sports entertainment and the WWE in particular. But if we take a step back and analyze his entire career, I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that Cena is the entertainment industry's equivalent to a Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything, whether he's defeating all-time greats like The Undertaker, Triple H, or even The Rock inside the Squared Circle, or co-starring in massive action and comedy films alongside the likes of Vin Diesel, Tina Fey, or Amy Poehler. Cena has charmed his way into most of our lives with his impressive physicality and hilarious sense of humor. But Cena didn't just appear inside of a WWE ring as a fully formed character. In fact, back when he was a kid, being a wrestler was the furthest thing from his mind, while he was training each and every day to become a professional bodybuilder. So how did a kid from Massachusetts eventually find himself as the face of a billion-dollar business? Stay tuned before they're famous to find out. Hey, what's poppin', guys? It's your boy Marlon Palmer. Recent drops in the series have included looks at Whistle and Diesel and Badman Kevo. Since this show works off request, don't forget to leave us some ideas with who you want to see next, and I'll catch you guys after the intro.
Sorry about that, y'all. I just hate these advertisement pop-up, so okay, there we go. All right, we're back in the video.
John Felix Anthony Cena Jr. was born on April 23, 1977, in West Newbury, Massachusetts, to his mother Carol Cena and his father John Felix Anthony Cena Sr. His father is of Italian descent, while his mother comes from French, Canadian, and English stock. Furthermore, as the grandson of former baseball player Tony Lupine, you could say that sports and athletics has run in Cena's family for a very long time. Now, the thing most of us tend to notice when we lay eyes on John Cena for the very first time is that we can't see him at all. No, seriously. Very first time, his remarkable physique. But early on in his life, John was something of a scrawny boy who only weighed around 100 pounds and was constantly teased by other kids at school. Eventually, he grew tired of being a punching bag and decided to act. But instead of turning to something like karate or self-defense, John decided that he would simply get bigger. And when he was 12 years old, he asked for a weightlifting bench for Christmas. Probably got steroids for Easter. This is, okay, 12? John got his wish and he took to spending all his free time resculpting his body. He told Men's Journal, "By the time I was 15 and I stepped in the high school gym, I was just stronger than everybody." Upon his graduation, he even earned himself best body in his high school yearbook. Cena then headed off to Springfield College in Massachusetts to study exercise physiology and prove himself on the football field, turning into a Division III All-American offensive lineman and eventual team captain, leading his team to their very first NCAA postseason game. But hard as it may be to believe, John still felt like he was too small to turn pro in the NFL. Unsure of what it was he was going to do with his life once John finished his education, he packed up his car and set his sights on California with the hopes of finding a career in the field of bodybuilding. Imagine John Cena thinking he was too small ever. With only $500 to his name, his dad warned him he wouldn't make it more than 2 weeks. But John hustled as soon as he got to Cali, moving fitness equipment for one company and working in the storefront of Venice Beach's Gold Gym for only...
Jesus. Man, these commercials are out of control, y'all. I'm sorry about that, but we're back in the video now.
$6 an hour, folding towels and cleaning toilets. Humble beginnings, man. That's where it starts. The toilets, always. At this point, John was basically living out of the back of his Lincoln Continental, but his luck changed during a casual conversation with a wrestler at Gold's Gym. Due to size and physique, This indie grappler encouraged John to sign up for classes at Ultimate Pro Wrestling, or UPW, a former WWE developmental company. Think G League for wrestling. While Cena had never actively imagined himself as a professional wrestler, it wasn't too outlandish of an idea considering his own father, John Sr., had once made a living as wrestling announcer and manager. Talk about coming full circle. Wait, is John Cena's dad JR? Once John stepped foot inside a wrestling ring for the very first time in 1999, his ascension was practically meteoric, calling himself the prototype. John went on to capture the UPW title in April of 2020 and held onto it for 27 days. He quickly caught the interest of WWE officials, and by 2001, he was being offered his very first WWE developmental contract to work at Ohio Valley Wrestling. There, he captured the OVW heavyweight title and held onto it for 3 months. Then, after dropping the title, he'd finally make his debut on WWE television on an episode of SmackDown in June of 2002, where he wrestled under his real name against none other than the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. His initial character operated under the idea of ruthless aggression, but it never really went anywhere. Within a few months, WWE officials were seriously considering releasing him. Then, while on the road with wrestlers like Rikishi, Rey Mysterio, and owner Vince McMahon's daughter Stephanie, Cena took part in an impromptu freestyle rap session and blew everyone away. Suddenly, Cena had the makings of a new gimmick. John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and Rikishi in a freestyle battle. It's not. I didn't have it on my bingo card. I didn't. By Halloween of 2002, Cena had settled into the character that would make him world famous. A wrestler who rapped freestyles before his matches, nicknamed the Doctor of Thugonomics. Less than 2 years later, Cena would capture his first WWE singles title when he defeated The Big Show at WrestleMania 20. The following year, at WrestleMania 21, Cena would become the WWE champion for the very first time.
Why did no one tell Michigan drivers about this new rule?
If you are currently insured, drive less than 50
defeating John Bradshaw Layfield. In the years since, Cena has gone on to have arguably one of the most successful professional wrestling careers of all time. Not only did he become the face of WWE television, carrying the company on his substantial shoulders for nearly an entire decade, but he would also go on to hold the record for most world championships, tied with none other than the living legend Ric Flair, in fact. John's held the WWE title specifically a record 13 times, which is 3 times more than the closest next wrestler, Cena's one-time rival, Randy Orton. But when you're as successful as Cena was for as long as Cena was, eventually you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Ironically enough, it was WWE officials' refusal to ever turn Cena into a heel or bad guy that eventually had him wearing thin with a substantial part of their audience. In other words, John Cena was too good. Y'all got bored? Over the years, a large portion of the WWE universe grew tired of Cena's shtick, and more specifically, his impeachable hold over the top of the card. Cena held on to his spot for as long as he could, but eventually came to the realization that it would probably be better to serve him to step away from WWE full-time and develop his acting resume, something he began to lay the foundations for early on in his career. Back in 2006, Cena starred in his very first film the WWE produced, The Marine. 3 years later, he followed that role up with another WWE-produced action flick, 12 Rounds. Typical of most WWE-produced movies, both films were pretty generic and didn't earn Cena a whole lot of attention for his thespian chops. Cena would return to the silver screen in 2015's Trainwreck, starring Amy Schumer and Bill Hader. Directed by Judd Apatow, this film gave Cena his first opportunity to work with a director who was capable of getting the most out of him, and John wound up turning in a hilarious performance as Amy's former boyfriend. And I do mean hilarious. He actually killed this. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting it. After popping up next in comedies like Sisters and Daddy's Home, it seemed like Cena had finally found his calling card as a comedic actor. Further films like Blockers would lay the groundwork for Cena to leave the WWE and enter Hollywood full-time. Now, Cena is set to star in the upcoming Fast and Furious 9 in a bid to finally become an action star on the same level as another pretty famous former wrestler who has some experience in the Fast and Furious universe. I think you know who I'm talking about. And while Cena won't face off against The Rock on the silver screen anytime soon, at least we'll always have their matches from WrestleMania 28 and 29 to relive over and over again. As for the rest of John's story, like whether or not he's going to show up at SummerSlam to challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, as he's rumored to, well, that's a story for another time and another place. After all, this is before they're famous. Be sure to let us know what your thoughts are.
All right, y'all. If y'all enjoyed that video, once again, please leave a like and comment. And I'll see y'all in the next. Peace out.